the second time this season and hoping to use that firepower as their #3 overall pick in 20. Griner and Aaliyah Boston, and Aaliyah Boston said, you got it, as Atlanta will start off with the rock.
Aaliyah knows she got to save her energy this game. This team works her.
Aaliyah Boston only had 4 points against Atlanta in game 2. The last time they saw each other, a short shot clock right away in the first attempt. JC off the deck, trying to put it up and short.
One of those are going to fall. She went 0 for 7 last game in her first game back in a Dream uniform, but she's got to wear off some of that rust.
Natasha Howard drains that one in. She can do it all.
Howard had 26 points in what she can do, especially inside of the paint.
The 3-time WNBA champion, 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, finding a new home, the 1-year deal she signed as a free agent out of Dallas. Brittany Griner off back iron, so Atlanta still over.
Griner seeing that double team as she tried to turn over her left shoulder, did a good job of not allowing the defense to take it away.
Bree Jones with the assignment of Natasha Howard, Brittany Griner on Aaliyah Boston. Howard on Lexi Hull, and the block right away.
Excellent defense by Howard. She got sucked in, baseline, didn't cut it off by Hull, but was there defending with the block.
Ryan Howard has had to wear many hats in the absence of Jordan Canada. She's actually leading the team in assists. The dish underneath to Bree Jones, no good.
And Bree Jones pokes it away from behind on Lexi Hull, so gets the possession back.
First turnover for Indiana, long 3. Off the mark for Alicia Gray in points, averaging at 20 points. And you can see very early on
who's seen Aaliyah Boston. They've just been going at it. They've taken it personal.
Gentle reminder, Brittany Griner actually fouled out of the game against the Indiana Fever when they were at State Farm. A lot of contact at the top of the key. Aaliyah Boston taking some time to gather herself.
A little bit of a well, the good thing is when they did win against this team, it was also a game that they did most of it without Griner on the floor, but you still want to have your best post out there in these big-time games.
Aaliyah Boston off from the 3. She's already hit 1 on the season as Bree Jones puts Atlanta on the board.
And I stand corrected, one of you is also one of the best posts on this team, and she also plays at the pace that the Dream want to play at.
Talk about pace, you can't forget about Kelsey Mitchell.
Smesko telling us before the game that she's so quick and can shoot.
Woo, wait a minute now, Tab. Behind the back, behind Jordan Canada. I thought we were going to see something on the highlight reel. Great. Pulls up, drains it, bottom of the net. Atlanta ties it at 4.
It'll still make the reel just because of that play right there.
So positive play for Atlanta. Good to see Jordan Canada back on the floor. Coach talked about the rhythm in which he's expecting her to play. Bree Jones tried to poke away, forces Aaliyah Boston to pick it up, and another turnover for Indiana.
Atlanta's hands are just all over the place. And a good give and go there, but Naz Hillman couldn't complete it at the rim.
Looks like Natasha Howard may have gotten a hand on it. Again, look at the battle underneath, and Aaliyah Boston really forcing the matter on the inside against Atlanta.
And she just puts it up and knocks it down.
Off the deck, Kelsey Mitchell finds Aaliyah Boston, pulls up. How about the uptick in productivity from Allure games? Indiana playing their 5th game without Caitlin Clark. They were on a 3-game skid, have won their last 2 and are 2-2 without Caitlin Clark on the floor. Woo. A lot of contact underneath on the putback for Alicia Gray. She'll get 2 at the charity stripe.
I'll tell you this much, them ponytails be saving skull.
82% from the free throw line this season. Rolls that one in just behind Tahina Paopao. Taking a look at Tahina Paopao, the rookie out of South Carolina, also won a title at South Carolina. Got a couple of South Carolina, the Gamecocks, and the amount of titles on the floor for them tonight is pretty good.
And we also have their fan base too. I mean, whenever one of the South Carolina products scores, we hear half the arena.
Sid Colson pulls up, and that's her shot. Sydney Colson That's how she got on the...
Excuse me, doesn't mean she can't play. Just stepping into the starting lineup and producing.
In her 14th season in the W right away, Brianna Jones with the deep seal and score. Aaliyah Boston actually had a really nice screen to clear things out for Kelsey Mitchell.
Absolutely. Kelsey Mitchell was just smart with her read right there.
Naz Hillman lined it up, couldn't knock it down. She has extended her range this season, couldn't connect on that one.
Notice how the defense came out to have to defend her at the three-point line. They can't just sag off and help in the lane and clog it up anymore.
In the previous 3 seasons for Naz Hillman, she made 1 3. She's already made 6 this year.
Last game had a career high of 2. You got to respect her and play her from that three-point line.
Howard on Howard, and the bump and the basket for number 10.
You could see it in Natasha Howard's eyes as she landed and tried to keep her hands behind her.
Briefly for the Indiana Fever, had to make sure that the clock was right. Officials for today, Roy Gobian, Sierra Cruz, and Kevin Fahey. 10 on the shot clock, Erin McDonald in the game. The up and under on Te-Hina Paopao, and right away like lightning.
Such a pro, just the consummate pro. Steph White talking to us about how she was ready when they called her up on that hardship contract, and she's just the ultimate professional. She works hard.
Brittany Griner back in the game with the 2 fouls going at Damaris Dantas, who also spent some time in Atlanta, holding her lip as well.
To see BG back in the game. Those were 2 quick fouls that were tic-tac fouls. We've talked about that in the past, how she can't pick those up. I like how Carl Smesko and his coaching staff are allowing her to kind of redeem herself in this first quarter.
Kelsey Mitchell dancing up top, strong on the attempt. Neither team has scored consecutive baskets in this game. It has gone back and forth. Indiana with a 1-point advantage with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Bounce pass broken up by Indiana. That's the first turnover for Atlanta, as DeWanna Bonner also in the game for the Indiana Fever. Dantas up top. So back-to-back looks for Indiana from outside. Same spot, same results. Te-Hina Paopao might have caught Brittany Griner off guard and still gets the bucket to fall.
Brittany Griner had something to say about it after.
Stat says Atlanta does have the 1-point advantage. They do so just shooting 36% from the field and have yet to knock down a 3.
I will say this, both of these teams make each other play ugly. I think for both of these teams to be 3-point shooting teams, they both are also good at defending the 3-point line, and all 3 times that they played each other, the 3-point percentages have been horrendous.
Kelsey Mitchell couldn't connect right away. Nia Coffey skying in for her first rebound. Atlanta looking to build on this 5-0 run. Ryan Howard already on the board. She's sitting at 2. Gray going at Hull with back to the left. Gray for greatness on that one. She'll get in game as these two have split the first 2 meetings. But with Sophie Cunningham coming off of the bench, she had a quick 9 points in her first game back and was a tear for Atlanta, who really didn't have a response to scoring at the right time. Brittany Griner with the deflection over Aaliyah Boston. That gets Atlanta the ball back. Ryan Howard still trying to set up the offense.
I know that block felt good for BG because her and Aaliyah have been going at it, okay? Not just this game, all 3.
If it's one thing that Brittany Griner can do very well, it's block shots. She had 11 in a game in her career.
That's crazy. 11, sheesh.
Holds the W record for it. 10 on the shot clock, more movement for Indiana. Aerie repositions from 3, drains her second one of the night.
And that's the pressure that McDonald, so Aerie McDonald, who are quick on the bounce, as well as putting up their shot.
We're tied at 22. Jordan Canada dropped Lexi Hull, looking for space, found it, and there's the bucket. Jordan Canada with her first points.
Do it in a nice fashion and a flashy style. That was a beautiful move. She'll miss the easy 2 at the rim, but she'll make that difficult shot.
I will say this, Tabitha, we're okay with her making the ones at the rim as well.
I am so okay with that.
Natasha Howard, the floater no good. Ryan Howard comes down with another rebound. Nas didn't like the look. Jordan Canada, can't she do it again? And couldn't connect from three.
That's okay because she already saw the bottom of the net. She saw the ball go through. So now that pressure of making your first shot of the season is gone. And now you can just play.
Right, and to your point, Tab, for Atlanta in their offense, it's mostly what can they do for everyone being a threat. That is the right shot to take. So the standard is going to be set. Where's the bar?
Girl, that knee would have buckled on that step through.
5 on the shot clock. Aaliyah Boston going against Bree Jones. The dig in by Jordan Canada. How about that look? Aaliyah Boston is just relentless for Aaliyah Boston. Have 3 starters now with 4. Leading the way, though, Erie McDonald with 9 off the bench.
Her first 2 seasons, that shot might have been an errant shot, might have been wild, but you can see how she settled in her 4th season, just commanding the attention in the post.
Gray going at Mitchell, found space and dribbles that one right on in.
Kelsey Mitchell saying that Gray hooked her.
Alisha Gray may be soft-spoken and may look nice, but she is lethal on the floor as back-to-back buckets for AB.
Smart move by Boston not to even go into any of the contact.
So Aaliyah Boston again was trying to
Pass looked really good from DeWanna Bonner to Boston.
On that previous series, Aaliyah Boston picked up her 2nd foul. JC again short on the 3. Atlanta still over from outside. They've missed 5. Natasha Howard draws the foul on Ryan Howard. That will be her first.
And Howard is having some words for the refs saying that Natasha Howard, that is, kind of went wild when she went up. That could be some acting or it could be some contact.
Checking in for your dream, number 32. Yes.
Atlanta over the summer, picking up 3 players. Brittany Griner and Bree Jones being 2 others that have been brought in, and that was a big splash for Atlanta to understand the assignment of what they needed from a season ago, and especially being dropped out for New York with a lot of hype, the reigning champs, but also seeing Dallas and a lot of the interior front court length that they had to go against, and they were able to get really big pieces. Bree Jones send it out. Gray thought she shot it.
Yeah, it was a little late, but credit the defense by the Fever because they brought that double team to B. Jones. When she turned, she immediately...
You got to credit Indiana as well, holding Atlanta, who is in the top 5 in threes made in the league, to over. They're shooting 36% from the floor at one point. Indiana up by 1. Dantas couldn't connect. DeWanna Bonner couldn't corral that in. It will go out of bounds, and it will go to Atlanta.
And defensively, that's what India to their 3-point defense. Their top 3 at 3-point defensive percentage, attempts, and makes. So we're going to see if the Dreams
added when I passed off. 9 times out of 10, she's going to finish it every single time, no matter who it might be.
Pretty accurate, Autumn, seeing that she is shooting close to 50% from the field. You mentioned her career high she's seeing. She's been on a tear and also getting the Eastern Conference Player of the Month to end out May as well with her bestie and Asia Wilson on the other side, Western Conference.
The other side of the rim and creates that contact. Dantas had no choice but to foul her.
That'll be Dantas' 2nd foul as 1 more on the way. Lexi Hull checks in for Indiana.
And not so long ago, we saw her go to the locker room. I don't think anything was going on with her. Didn't see any new braces or anything. Maybe it was just a potty break.
Just a little reset, that's all. Tied at 27. Atlanta have the advantage after the first quarter. It's been a very tight series so far between Indiana and Atlanta. Mia Coffey and Brittany Griner will check in at the next dead ball for the Dream. Gray sticks it in, got the cookie jar. Add the milk. She gets it to go. Another bucket for AG.
She could sense blood in the water when Dantas fumbled that first pass. And what did she do? She went for it without fouling.
Alicia Gray in double figures with 11. Just adding Atlanta's third field goal in the paint. Kelsey Mitchell couldn't connect on the take. Yeah. Slow to get off the floor.
I like the no call, though, because Mitchell was out of control and also had a hook on Gray.
Bree Jones able to go against her former teammate, and DeWanna Bonner underneath. She's been pretty good.
Making a case for MVP early in the season.
Just one of the two teams still undefeated, ironically, along with the New York Liberty. Those are the final two teams, or the teams that were in the finals a season ago.
Yeah. But back to Atlanta, Ryan Howard was that third line of defense, and she picked up the foul. So BG having to stay on the floor, needing to stay on the floor to protect her teammates behind her.
So that'll be the second foul on Ryan Howard. Brittany Griner also has two. No others have more than one for Atlanta. On the other side, Aaliyah. There's Dantas, who is on the bench right now, also with two. 4 minutes left in the first half. Ryan Howard out top has grown really comfortable in that point guard position.
Yeah, Carl Smesco told us that we were going to see her at point guard for the foreseeable future.
Stripped away, DeWanna Bonner held up Ryan Howard. That's the fourth turnover for Atlanta. Ari McDonald, who has already knocked down 2 threes off the bench.
And that's the length of Brittany Griner. She's going to force you to take those wild shots, and you can see the fatigue setting in on Aaliyah Boston. The post for Atlanta just wearing her down and making her work.
And the efficiency dropping for Indiana as well, as that sails out of bounds. Alicia Gray.
But we talk about the pace, both these teams, that they want to play fast. And I think that at risk, they don't get out of shape as much. We just talk about the fatigue settling in as the percentages are dropping for Indiana in the second quarter.
Well, Atlanta has to clean up some things on the offensive end as well. They have 4 turnovers in this quarter alone. 8 on the shot clock. DeWanna Bonner pulls up for the triple. That's the 4th for Indiana.
DeWanna Bonner has been to Steph White earlier today. She talked about how off the bench she's finding her groove. She used to be in the starting lineup, but now she's figuring some things out in a rhythm that she can play with.
Nia Coffey, power move, and one too many steps trying to get to her spot. So yet over for Atlanta, that will summon Jordan Canada off the bench. Tahina Pow will take a seat. 2:36 left, get in basketball shape and guard one of the quickest players in the W at Ari McDonald. Speed matching speed.
With their little selves. Get them all quick.
Nia Coffey skies up for another rebound. We're locked at 31. Angel Gray, tap the Turner, and Autumn Johnson here for you as Nia Coffey pulls up for the 3 and off the mark.
But again, Alicia Gray was able to grab that rebound. Why? Because of the post for Atlanta. They command respect at the three-point line.
Another turnover for Atlanta. Kelsey Mitchell fumbling the ball up top. Allows Atlanta to set up in their half-court defense. Less than 2. Ari McDonald, the slide, kick out, Lexi Hull. Triple no good. DeWanna Bonner flying in for another bucket.
Yeah, you gotta box out DB. She just came in, no making contact when that shot goes up.
Indiana back out front. 6-0 run for the Fever. We've had 3 lead changes, tied 8 times. As we're approaching the final minute, Ryan Howard couldn't connect on the triple. 0 for 7 for Atlanta. Trying to disrupt. Still a battle underneath. Aaliyah Boston begging for the ball, and Ari McDonald just a bit wide left.
Jordan Canada making Ari McDonald put up some shots that she didn't have to put up in the first quarter.
DeWanna Bonner tried to jump out top.
Biggest lead by Atlanta has been 5. Biggest by Indiana has been 3. If you're Atlanta, you want to take advantage of these last few seconds and get back on top and get the momentum going in your favor.
They have not scored in 4 minutes. Can that change here? Gray. So they will say there is a foul on Dawana Bonner. Ryan Howard pulls up and off the mark for the three. The putback by Gray in the right place.
Deep, and Alicia Gray, 6 foot, a big guard. She can do just that and get that easy putback.
Indiana has plenty of time for a final shot to close the half. 10 seconds. Erin McDonald up top and more contact. Kelsey Mitchell finding the angle, rims out. And Jordan Canada comes out of the pack with the rock. That will bring the first half to a close. And what do you know, Tabitha? We are locked at 33. It's been very familiar between these.
This is at the half. We have to execute our sets and do it at an efficient rate. And they also want to be intentional about getting touches to their post players and making sure they're bearing their defenders.
And to your point, Autumn, 6 of those turnovers were in the second quarter.
Yeah, just mucking it up in the paint. We had a lot of deflections. We know Carl Smesco and the Dream want to be intentional getting the ball inside.
That was knocked off the leg for Bree Jones from Natasha Howard, able to retrieve it back. Jordan Canada with 4 on the shot clock, pulls up, can't hit.
But you saw it on that possession alone, the high-low with BG and Brianna Jones, constantly trying to get it into Brianna Jones. So Indiana realizing that she's lethal in that paint. They're going to try and take that away as much as possible.
Kelsey Mitchell off the deck, pulls up. I don't know if there's many that can do it the way that.
Whether you switch or you follow her, she can hurt you if she reads the defense so good. You go over the top, she can put the ball on the ground and get to the rim and beat you there. If you go under, it's too much space for her shot.
Gray returns the favor.
How did Alicia Gray even get that one to go in? It was off balance going to the left.
Consecutive game without Caitlin Clark, who is still out due to the left quad. We're told from Stephanie White earlier today that she is making progress, trending in the right direction, and the most important thing is keeping her healthy for the long run next time she's available.
Like, what is she writing down over there?
Or maybe something from State Farm. Natasha Howard surveying the floor.
She's probably measuring the distance from logos where she can shoot at.
I wouldn't be surprised. Natasha Howard pulling up and can't connect there. Natasha Howard right now with 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field. Alicia Gray able to put on the Jets. She gets fouled, she'll shoot 2.
So again, just looking at the halftime stats, we talked about the points in the paint and we talked about the fast break points. In favor of Alicia Gray the last few positions. That's exactly what she's been doing, 2 feet in the paint, drawing the foul.
And something that we've grown accustomed to for Atlanta is seeing their pace in the open floor. Alicia Gray really forcing the issue and not allowing Indiana to get set. This is a scoring in the W.
Yeah, and it's mostly done in transition. When you don't allow the defense to get set up, you usually have a mismatch or you outnumber them.
Alicia Gray splits the pair. Does give Atlanta the 1-point edge. Kelsey Mitchell pulls up. Nothing on the triple. Ryan Howard thought about the 3, thought again, sends it back. Good defense on the Bree Jones dive to the basket. Now one-on-one coverage between Aaliyah Boston and Brittany Griner. Griner tried to spin it in. Great defense by AB. Here comes Natasha Howard. All the way to the rim, rolls that one in.
Yeah, Howard can do just that. Somebody fell asleep all the way in transition from the rebound to the rim.
Natasha Howard averaging 11, close to 12 points a game.
Double team comes, 3-point goes up.
While many signed last season, but couldn't connect on that one there.
We saw her knock down 2 back-to-back in preseason, and it got all of us excited. Hasn't knocked one down since, but we know that she can hit it and stretch the floor.
Yeah, just 1 for 6 in the regular season. Great defense in the paint for Atlanta. The kick out for Hull, no good. Hull, who is averaging her career best double figures this season at 10, has yet to score in this ball game.
That's because her and Ryan are playing each other. They're playing each other hard. Howard only has 2 points in this one, and they get switched off on each other quite a few in this game.
Sydney Colson with the assignment of Ryan Howard. Ryan going to the bucket, can't connect. More speed. Natasha Howard pulled Naz Hillman, and that goes to the third row.
Again, the defense by Jordan Canada. Those things, those deflections matter. Why? It stops the momentum.
Kelsey Mitchell gets blocked by Gray. She can do it all. Check the list. Another box.
She must have changed the goggles out at halftime again. Laser focus on these.
Those have some new technology as Bree Jones, like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Set out of the way.
And that's the right call because Hall didn't give her a step. So in order to take...
That'll be Lexi's third foul as Bree Jones knocks down the first. Erin McDonald doubles a career best and a franchise best.
And that's why they're sending double teams at her. That's the respect that she commands because she does her work so early and she's so smart around the paint.
This has the makings of another great one between these two teams. Gone back and forth with the lead. And Jordan Canada too handsy on the take from Erin McDonald.
I don't know, that looked like some good defense. JC's gonna take a break because she's been really working at the defensive end.
Ryan Howard rips down her third rebound of the night. Ryan Howard has been quiet from the field, just 2 points. And Nia Coffey drains it from the corner. That'll lead to a tie.
Enough about Erin McDonald, how she was just ready to step back on the floor and lead this team.
I love the fact that she said with more practice time, we're able to see and get a rhythm with the people that are available. And for Erin, being disruptive, but also the natural point guard position has helped.
Good job by Bree Jones defensively. She pushed Boston all the way underneath the basket. She had nowhere to go.
Aaliyah Boston 3 for 9, 7 points. And on the other end, Atlanta continues to pile it on the inside. Indy looking for buckets as Naz Hillman looks like she'll pick up her third foul.
And the chemistry that Bree Jones and Alicia Gray have formed, that pass was right on target into the interior for Jones, and she was able to corral it.
And another turnover for Indiana. That is their 7th. They have not been very productive, only 4 points in the last 7 minutes for them. Bree Jones, putback, again, goes off the glass, count it!
Should have been an and one because she was definitely fouled the first time. She is putting in work. Brianna Jones with 17, excuse me. She leads all scorers in this game.
Atlanta outscoring Indiana 12-4 in the third. And an offensive foul for Aaliyah Boston, who is gobsmacked.
Absolutely.
If you're just joining us here in the second half, it has gone all Atlanta way. We were tied at 33. And Indiana has not scored in their last 7 possessions.
Well, the defense amped up. I mean, every time defensively, they've either had a deflection or a steal or a stop and forced them too far underneath the basket. They just picked it up another notch in this third quarter.
Gray, the dish. Brittany Griner, the pass and the make.
I think she's got some dunks left in her. I want to see her dunk that one. Like,
Well, I think that's what she's saying her knees feel like when it happens.
Oh, you're right.
11-0 run for Atlanta. This is their biggest lead, up by 10. Dantas brings that to a close with the triple.
Yeah, Damaris Dante, she did a bit of that some years back, and that's her first field goal of the game, but she still can make it.
Naz Hillman saw no one in the house, so decided to let herself in.
Yeah, Dewana Bonner was ring defensively, but it was too late. Naz Hillman was already at the rim.
Another steal. Here comes Ryan Howard. One to beat. Meet you at the top and couldn't connect. Nia Coffey tried to clean it up and nothing there. It will stay with Atlanta.
Just so frustrating, the easy points.
Just sitting at 2 points. But Atlanta still finding ways to score. Nia Coffey. They'll say Lexi
does not reflect the impact that Lexi Hole has on the court.
9 on the shot clock, more movement. Nia Coffey triple. Couldn't connect on that one. This has been the worst three-point performance for Atlanta, and they're still up 9.
But again, in their win that they did get in Indiana, they didn't shoot the three ball well either.
Joanna Bonner lined them up. She can extend the range that deep, but that was in and out.
Excellent job by Alicia Gray with that first step. She beat it. It's a big time adjustment to make. So that also shows the maturity of this team, the maturity of Ryan Howard, the maturity of Alicia Gray, of Naz Hillman, players who have been here previously.
So Ryan Howard with a major collision at the top of the key with Demiris.
And it's a breathe and absorb.
I wake up and every bone in my body cracks.
Everything. We are at that age.
Joanna Bonner going at Naz Hillman. A lot of different footwork that we saw there, and she couldn't connect on the pull-up.
Great defense by Naz Hillman.
Bree Jones got the double. Naz Hillman just off the mark on the left.
Shot that shot a little too quick.
Final minute, Kelsey Mitchell putting her foot on the gas, found the lane. That's what she can do.
And that's exactly what she's gonna try and do, give Atlanta a taste of their own medicine. So you had Allure, which is why they were able to get this lead.
So a technical foul going against Kelsey Mitchell, who had a few words for Tia Cruz on her way back.
A little errant and all over the place. So I respect her as a player, but respectfully.
The first game against Indiana at their place, 91-90. Then on a back-to-back, they had them with the Indiana Fever returning the favor, 81-76. And Alicia Gray said back, we'll get it here in the third.
Just the balance that Gray had. The pass was over her head. She was going right. She shot it back left, and it was nothing but net.
About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. Atlanta can hold it for the final shot. Six to work with. JC up top. The dive. Bree Jones off the glass. Yes, for Bree Jones.
That was beautifully read, and it's going to put up Atlanta up by 14. They turned their defense into offense. They had 3 steals alone in that third quarter. But I remember saying deflection, deflection, deflection several times.
Jordan Canada with the first look out of the timeout, or rather the break, as we start the fourth quarter. Couldn't connect. As Ari McDonald strong on the take, and the whistle blew. She kept going, and another foul for Jordan Canada.
I tell you, they are friends.
And Lexi Hull actually playing together and unrivaled, winning the inaugural chip there for Roses. Lexi Hull still looking for her first bucket of the night.
Big time rebound by Ryan Howard, though. Got in there and got over 2 defenders. Boston and box her out, so that's how it's supposed to work.
A lot of pressure at the top of the key for Kelsey Mitchell on Jordan Canada. Had to give it up. 5 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard was tripped up. If they say it's on Lexi Hull, that will be her 5th. It has been a difficult fever.
Bonner with just 5 points tonight, talking to Stephanie White before the game about her finding her groove with this team.
Nia Coffey thought about it too long and studied wrong. Turns the ball over there. That'll be Atlanta's 10th.
And she knows she probably should have just shot that shot because she commands respect behind the arc.
Indiana looking for some points. This is the biggest lead for Atlanta at 14. Ryan Howard has seen a little bit of everyone for Indiana. The switch. Kelsey Mitchell got what she wanted. Bree Jones. The triple and wide right.
Excellent defense between Ryan Howard and Bree Jones.
Bree Jones going at her former teammate off the glass. I don't know if she's seen that one before.
Just so impressive with her athleticism, her moves.
Solid screen at the top of the key against Natasha Howard, who's brought back up by Ryan Howard. Kelsey Mitchell with 10 points, the only player for Indiana in double figures. Ari McDonald has not scored in the second half. Alicia Gray, on the other hand, has.
Beautiful give and go, and this is what we're talking about when we say move without the ball in your hands.
Kelsey Mitchell in and out. Nashing on the baseline. Howard going against Hillman and rolls that one in.
Yeah, Naz Hillman didn't want to get the foul on that one, played it straight up, and Natasha Howard too good over the shoulder.
9 points now for Natasha Howard. Plenty of time left. Atlanta hoping to get back in the win column, dropping their last one after going on a 3-game win streak. And actually a 4-game win streak. So
yeah.
So they're saying it will go against Atlanta for the foul. The team's third.
Some salt and ice bath, some Vicks Vapor Rub, because it has been rough, to say the least, out here.
All the things. Nia Coffey with a lot of pressure at half court commits another foul. That is the 4th for Atlanta. Atlanta has to be careful, though, with 6:55 left on the game clock here in the 4th. The next foul will put Indiana in the bonus.
And this is a lot of time. This is almost 7. These are all pros. If you're Nia Coffey, you don't want to commit that foul way up there. It's not necessary.
Another look. You have to think that has been the assignment. Stephanie White pleased with how they've been getting inside touches. The last few series going to Natasha Howard. Nia Coffey this time.
Bingo.
And that's why you shoot it.
Bingo. Jordan Canada. Fender had to come over because of what she did the play before that. So what does JC do now? She kicks it out to an open Nia Coffey.
Nia Coffey has knocked down 2 of Atlanta's 3 threes this evening. Jordan Canada will not be denied, but they will say the wraparound with that offhand is an offensive foul.
But I like what she did, though. So I will say this.
Actions until they can find a good, efficient look.
Thanks, Autumn. Well, we were just told that the challenge was successful, or unsuccessful, for Atlanta. So Indiana got it back underneath, and as Brittany Griner tried to save it off of Aaliyah Boston.
So here's where Atlanta's got to be careful. So they challenged the call. It was a salvage and play.
So to clarify, Tab, and that's my error, they did say that it was a successful challenge for Atlanta. They counted the bucket, and Indiana received the ball out of bounds because of the made bucket. So we play on. 5:24 left. I'm not so certain.
But I like that the refs did, right? Like it's been that way the entire game, so they've kept it consistent.
Nia Coffey thought about it, instead dishes it off to Brittany Griner, is fouled by Aaliyah Boston. Lexi Hull returning to the scorer's table. So DeWanna Bonner will take a seat, and Aaliyah Boston Jordan Canada waiting for it, needs help, finds Gray. 4 on the shot clock, turnaround by Brittany Griner, and that is textbook offense.
Yeah, she knew the die, so what did she do? She turned over her left shoulder instead and just took it one-on-one over Howard.
19-point lead for the Dream. Ryan Howard said, not tonight. Jordan able to save it back in bounds, flies into the second row. Ryan Howard, triple. Howard gets it again. And a foul on the arm against Brittany Griner. That will be her third.
Howard.
Atlanta up by 19. Ryan Howard only has 2 points. Jordan Canada only has 4 points. They were shooting 20% from three. They've only knocked down, we talked about earlier in the game, and the balance that we've seen.
Absolutely. When your Ryan Howard isn't on one night because she's defending one of the best players, or she's got 5 assists and 5 rebounds, so she's doing a lot of other things, she can focus on her defense and focus on those hustle plays because she has a scorer in Alicia Gray and a scorer in Brianna Jones who can back her up.
Ryan Howard, who has been very vocal about being on the all-defensive team, is leading this ball between Kelsey Mitchell and Alicia Gray. Goggles wins. But a cough up by Shatori Walker-Kimbrough as there's a foul on the trip call against Shatori.
And inadvertent as well.
The limit, Ari McDonald will step up for 2 free throws. In and out for her.
Can I just talk about how proud I am of Ari McDonald? I know she's no longer playing for the Dream, but just having to work her way on and off rosters and staying ready and not having to get ready, but also coming out here and competing, just putting her head down and not get released by the fever in the near future.
It's been fun to watch her. We had the 3 seasons with her in Atlanta after being the 3rd pick in 2021 out of Arizona, where she was a phenom, as Nia Coffey has been a breath of fresh air off the bench for Atlanta.
Big lineup.
This is the biggest lead.
A semi-big lineup out there, too. You got Naz Hillman and Nia Coffey, both of your 4s out there, and Bree Jones at the 5.
Bree Jones trying to fight underneath against Lexi Hull. Ryan Howard, is this it? And it's not. Atlanta does get it back with a foul against Indiana, though. That's something that Kelsey Mitchell, too, had a conversation.
Frustration when you're out there and you're getting hit and you're tired and you're putting forth all this energy and effort. I get it.
Stripped away, Natasha Howard. Able to collect that one. But it's interesting to see how Atlanta has grown since then, but Washington has been very good as well. Well, the clutch free throws of the game are sponsored by Free Last Bail Bonds, a place that people trust when times get tough. As Natasha Howard steps up for another one and can't connect.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too. I am.
No, you're not. You're going to be on vacation somewhere in the sun.
I think
not
honestly,
thinking about me.
Maybe, but maybe not. Ryan Howard sending back to Nia Coffey. She's knocked down 3 tonight. Ryan Howard has really struggled from outside. Now,
Yeah, it is, and she's also second. She's also second in the league in 3-point makes, and you know, there's never an excuse. But when you talk about a player like Ryan Howard, who has taken it on her shoulders to try to make that all herself, to get better at that point guard position, and she likes the fact that she's leading this team in assists as well.
Leading from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. That is not something that we have grown accustomed to seeing from Ryan Howard, who is a lethal 3-point shooter, and actually in her sophomore season put up close to 100 threes. Had not.
It's in your head and you're not scoring the same way. You might want to go out and force the issue and try to get your buckets. But what did she do? She kept the course, and she's still on the course, and she remained steady of getting her teammates involved and allowing them to eat first.
Gotta love it from the leader of the group, Tahina Pow off the bench. Why not? Hands up. And that gets everybody else in the arena on their feet as well.
Pow is so much fun. I mean, a lot of players would come in with nerves in the last 2 minutes of the game, and she came in and banked a 3.
I don't think she has nerves. She just comes in. She is the lightest of the group. She is always laughing. She is so much fun to be around, to watch. I think she wants it back.
Absolutely. And Coach Mesko loves her communication. She's loud, she's vocal.
Going against another Gamecock and champion, and Aaliyah Boston couldn't connect. And a foul.
Undefeated season a few years ago.
And off the fingertips of Maya Caldwell. 20-point game as Atlanta has led the entire, not the entire time, but in the second half has really pulled away as their starters are now on the bench. Who they will see next. And that'll be on Friday. They'll see the Chicago Sky, as Indiana will see on Saturday the New York Liberty. So Indiana, you hope with the amount of time that's in between this game and the game that they're going to see the defending champions and undefeated New York Liberty, if they are indeed going to be able to get Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham back on the floor.
Two players that make a heck of a difference for any lineup, but especially for this Fever team.
And Michaela, at least I played.
Political.
Nia Coffey missing the first free throw. She was able to surpass her in the double-doubles and overall rebounds records at Florida State. Having those two players on the same roster and to mentor is really cool.
Listen, if I was Natasha Howard, every time I go up against Timpson in practice, I'm showing her.
Far in the W as Ari McDonald will step up to the free throw line once again. She's been solid for Indiana in the 3 games she's been on the roster. So back-to-back games for Ari McDonald in double figures.
Ari McDonald with the tweet saying that God's plan is greater than her plan and just having to trust the process. And I love that kind of faith. These players work so hard, and there's a shortage of roster spots in the WNBA, even with expansion. A lot of good players out there. And Ari McDonald just proving her case why she should make someone's roster.
Speaking of expansion teams, I'm not sure if you saw the Valkyries in Aces game, but that's another team that has been able to string things together in the final 2 games as they had a big one over the Sparks. As this one comes to a close, Atlanta back in the win column, getting this one over Indiana and in charge of the series at this point, 2-1. They will see each other later in the season.